FROCH versus Nigel Benn.
See now I'm going to start talking with my heart here, because Nigel Benn's sort of my ultimate boxing hero. But he was vulnerable, and that's what made him exciting. So FROCH's chin was phenomenal. God, I'm going to have to keep my boxing on, and I think maybe FROCH would have dragged him into a war, and he was that little bit sturdier. But Ben could have pulled it out of the bag with, you know, if George Groves could put Carl on the floor and Taylor, then I'm sure Nigel Benn would be able to do it. Oh, I don't know. It's a toss up, that one. I can't make mind up.
You gotta choose.
I'm gonna go FROCH.
Andre Ward versus Joe CALZAGHE.
Big fight. CALZAGHE, you know, I was getting Stevie Collins ready to fight him, and all of a sudden Stevie decided to retire because he wasn't happy with fighting that guy. Wow, that's a real hard fight, because you've got a champion that's tall, good reach, very good combinations. But CALZAGHE, undefeated, never been beat. I want to say draw, but I'm going to say CALZAGHE. I think CALZAGHE, he could dig down a little deeper.
Gerald McClellan versus Gennady Golovkin.
Violence! Oh gosh. That's tough. Do you know why that's tough? Because Golovkin's not fought anybody like a G-man. I remember when, I know it was coming towards Jackson's end of his career, but we had that kind of like brute force in Jackson and big puncher in McClellan, but McClellan can box. You know, I seen some sparring footage of McClellan in the gym. I think McClellan and James Toney sparring, that is a classic. Anybody that's watching this, YouTube, Joe McClellan and James Toney sparring, phenomenal. Because he's got the boxing ability behind him as well as the bombing, I'll go with McClellan. Golovkin's he punches hard, and again, he punches very hard for these days, but McClellan used to sleep. This is the thing, those kind of fighters back in those days were sleeping fighters. These days we stop fighters. That tells me there's a little bit of difference. And the fact that McClellan can box as well, he's got a good jab, he rips in the body shots really, really well. I think you'd give him an advantage in speed as well over Golovkin. Golovkin's more of the marauding, cut the ring down, you know, walk you down and bludgeon you. But he'd be getting nailed with some serious bombs on the way in. So yeah, I'm going to go with Joe McClellan.
Alexander Usyk versus David Haye.
I would have gone for Usyk in that fight. I think that would have been a great fight, actually. It would have been a good fight. I think they both would have tagged each other in the fight, and it'd been one of them ding-dong fights. I think maybe either one would have gone down in the fight, but I think it might have been a points decision to Usyk.
Manny Pacquiao versus Pernell Whitaker.
Well, I was always a great fan of Pernell Whitaker. I was very lucky that early in his career I had a number of training camps that I was invited to with other fighters I had with Main Events at the time. I watched Pernell in the gym day in, day out, saw him live several times. I thought he was one of the slickest, one of the best skilled fighters I've ever seen. I think Pernell Whitaker boxed the ears off Manny Pacquiao.
Chris Eubank versus James DeGale.
I think most with Chris Eubank Senior, Chris Eubank Senior, very hard man, very, very hard man. He's been in some hard wars, hard fights, found a way to win, could hit. But saying that though, James DeGale, prime James DeGale, good movement, southpaw, moving side to side. Don't think it'd be a great fight, but I do feel, I just think Eubank Senior just hit too hard. I just fancy Eubank Senior.
Vasyl Lomachenko versus Shane Mosley.
Oh, I'd have to go with Shane Mosley in that one. Shane Mosley at 135 pounds was in his prime was very hard to beat. Not only his hand speed, but his punching power. I think he would have neutralized Vasyly's movement, even though Vasyly would give him a tough fight. But Shane Mosley would win a decision.
Manny Pacquiao versus Julio Cesar Chavez Sr.
A very good fight. I mean, I definitely know who I'm going to pick in this fight. It's not difficult. But the thing is, just because he was a much more complete, better fighter. This is one of the fighters that I always felt in my heart. It's like some fighters were born to fight and some weren't. And there's a couple out there that were born to fight. And Chavez is one of them. And I pick him all the way. I do. Pacquiao's explosive, very quick, yes, but with too heavy a competition for him in that one, I feel.
Mike Tyson versus Riddick Bowe.
Riddick Bowe. Okay, I'm gonna ask you one more question. Which Bowe are we talking about? The Bowe that fought Holyfield the first fight, or the Bowe that, okay. Mike's my guy. I love Mike. You know, think I'm crazy. I'm going to go Bowe. That Bowe right there was a hell of a fighter. The jab would have been too much for Mike. Mike, if you were afraid of Mike, you were in trouble. Bowe wouldn't have been afraid of him. Because Bowe knew what he had to do. They both came from Brownsville. I give Bowe the nod at a prime Riddick Bowe.
Roy Jones Jr. versus Marvin Hagler.
Oh, that's a fight. Listen, Roy Jones Jr. for me, I'm a little bit biased because I love Roy Jones Jr. Marvin Hagler was a great fighter, great middleweight, great fighter. But I think the feet, the athleticism of Roy Jones, the punch variety of Roy Jones, and the sheer speed, both of his hands and feet, Roy Jones all day.
Real footage from his early days.
Unbelievable. He's a guy, I remember when I first started coaching, when I was boxing, we used to be VHS kids, VHS videotapes, we used to get them from America. I just used to study Roy Jones. He's a legend, he's one of my all-time favourites.
Floyd Mayweather versus Ray Leonard.
Hard fight, Sugar Ray Leonard, good movement. In a prime, Sugar Ray Leonard, who'd be a Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard all day long. A prime Floyd Mayweather. Did he beat anybody in the prime, in his prime, as good as what Ray did with Tommy Hearns? I don't think so. I just think Ray Leonard, who fought Tommy Hearns and Benitez, was just too much, and I think he emotionally would do to Floyd what emotionally did to his old man, and I think Sugar Ray would win, yeah.
Matthew MACKLIN versus Martin Murray.
Oh, God. I'm not answering that one. I'm not answering that one. If Martin's defence was so tight, and I'm sure Oliver would have come up with a game plan like he did for me as well. So I'd have to slightly go with Martin Murray, but God, that fight should have happened. I've got to say, that fight should have definitely happened, and they did try and make it. And they was actually trying to make it while I was helping Matt out training as well, which would have been so awkward. But Martin was a big middleweight as well, probably just sided with Martin, but not with any confidence.